After 100+ years of filmmaking, is now the time that the film industry is actually starting to die out? Well, today I'm going to try to answer that question. So there are four main issues that I see with the future of filmmaking. The first being AI, the second being the rise of social media, third is the lack of people going to movie theaters, and fourth is the oversaturation of streaming content. So the first with AI, it's pretty much infiltrated all aspects of our lives already, from schoolwork to creative hobbies. It's pretty much involved with everything already, but specifically with filmmaking, there are a ton of jobs that could be in trouble. So when I saw Google Veo 3 recently, that scared me the most because I can foresee entire movies being made entirely with AI just in a couple years. So specifically with Google Veo 3, AI can create entire videos just from a text prompt, and it is very realistic. Now there are a couple problems with it, like it's very expensive and there are time limits, but once they improve on these things, they'll be able to do pretty much anything. So a lot of the main jobs that I can see being taken by this are the visual effects department, because why spend all that money on digital artists that can just be replaced by AI, which is cheaper and more efficient? But it's not all doom and gloom with AI. With the strike a couple of years ago, they did their best to advocate for stronger regulations and protections for the professionals in the industry. Although it did not completely halt AI from being used. So in my opinion, I think there need to be more extensive regulations to make sure that it cannot infiltrate the business whatsoever. But in the end, AI cannot replace human emotion and feelings. So the stories that they would tell would be completely void of everything that we love about movies. So I think it wouldn't work with AI anyway. So the second main issue is with social media. Short form content is currently dominating the market right now, and maybe for good reason. Instead of going to a movie on a Friday night, people prefer to watch more consumable stuff on TikTok rather than spending money on a ticket or spending money for a streaming service. It's just easier to access. But the problem with that is that it creates shorter attention spans. So, will movies still be able to capture the attention of the younger generation? Well, I think the answer is yes. And we've seen it recently with movies like the Minecraft movie or the live action How to Train Your Dragon. If the movie is interesting and it's targeting a specific audience, I think there was always a space and an audience for the movie to reach. So the third main issue is with the lack of people going to movie theaters, but I see this as a smaller issue that's more to do with the economy and inflation than it does to do with movies themselves. I think that people just don't want to go because of how expensive everything is, not that there's not a demand for those movies. Like we saw with Barbenheimer a couple years ago, there is still people that want to watch blockbusters, but maybe just can't afford it right now. So the fourth and final issue is with the overcrowded streaming markets. And the problem with this is that there are many films and shows that just get buried under the stuff that's trending, and people just may never see them. Another thing is that there are movies that are released only on a specific platform, so it might not even reach the audience it was intended for because they might not have that streaming service, and people just can't buy every single one. But still, there are a lot of positives to streaming services, like low budget films or flops or indie films can become popular on streaming services even if they weren't when they first came out at the movie theaters. And another thing is that the high competition between platforms is just going to create better and better content, and I'm here for it. So although the film industry isn't perfect, there are many ways it can improve, and I don't see it dying out anytime soon. Because as humans, we still need stories to be told, and the entertainment value of movies and shows will always be something special.